News 4 Jax Insider. Sign up and sign in today.
Your favorite health food could be a killer for your pets. Wednesday.
Live from the local station, the 10 o'clock news starts now.
Tonight on the 10 o'clock news, this gun and little beads are part of a recent dangerous TikTok trend that has made its way all the way to Jacksonville. Across the country, children and teenagers have been participating in the Orbeez challenge, where they use one of these popular toy guns to shoot strangers with water-filled beads like these.
Yeah, we have a jar of them right here. They're slippery, but they hurt when they're fired at you. News 4 Jax reporter Renee Beninati is joining us live tonight to explain the cases that we've just learned about here in Jacksonville. Renee.
Mary, we learned that there have been 8 cases reported here at JSO, and they all stem around these little, as you said, slimy, water-filled beads that are shot from those toy guns. They may not look dangerous, but in one case, they left a teenager in the hospital. In most of these cases involving those Orbeez guns and these beads, just reports were filed and that was it. In 3 of them, charges were filed, including aggravated battery. In one case, a juvenile was issued a citation. Reporting live, Renee Beninati, Channel 4, the local station.
It was a hot topic in tonight's City Council meeting, taking down Confederate monuments in Jacksonville, more specifically the monument in Springfield Park. 60 people spoke during the public comment at tonight's meeting. News 4 Jax reporter Bree Isom is joining us now live. So, Bree, people are very much divided on this issue.
Yes, it was a heated debate for sure, and the main debate topic was the statue right behind me in Springfield Park, the Women of the Confederacy. Some people want to keep it up, but others want to take it down. One man also offered maybe taking this one down and building up other historical figures like Harriet Tubman.
Thank you, Bree. New information now about a plane crash in St. Augustine that killed experienced aerobatics pilot Marion Fox. The NTSB has released a preliminary report now on what happened, and it says Fox was returning after a short local flight when smoke started coming from her plane. She was losing power. Her fiance was flying in a plane nearby and tried to help guide her through it. Fox overshot the runway and landed upside down in the marsh, where she radioed saying, "I had too much speed. I should have come in slower." She died at a hospital. Investigators say the fuel was free and clear of contaminants. There were also no issues found with the plane's cylinders, valves, or pistons. The NTSB will continue to investigate. Tense moments recorded during a recorded phone interview with a Jacksonville man who's taking part in animal rescue operations in Ukraine as the country is still under attack from Russian forces. Take a listen.
Can you hear that? Turn the volume up. We have an air raid warning going off right now. So.
That was the voice of Mike Merrill of Florida Urgent Rescue, based out of Jacksonville. Florida Urgent Rescue is currently partnering with other animal rescue organizations in Europe, and they're all rescuing animals left abandoned in parts of Ukraine. News 4 Jax reporter Eric Avenier was on the phone with Merrill when that air raid siren went off. He's joining us now live with what Merrill and other rescuers have been able to accomplish so far. Eric.
Yes, when I spoke with Mike Merrill, it was just before 9 p.m. in Ukraine. He and other animal rescuers were on the road en route to the Ukrainian-Polish border. Now, he says so far within the past 10 days of being in that part of the world, he and his organization have rescued 50 abandoned animals out of Ukraine.
Eric, thanks. And later in the newscast at 10:30, we're going to hear from the Pentagon and what they have to say about Russian troops and their advancements in Ukraine today. A traffic alert now near downtown. Some lanes on I-95 are closed over West 5th Street, causing some backups. Crews are working to repair cracked concrete on the bridge deck. The work is expected to continue through the night, and the lanes will reopen as soon as the problem is fixed. An update now to another traffic alert. The crane that burned in the rail yard under the Edgewood Avenue viaduct has been removed, and crews are now inspecting what happened. That's according to the Department of Transportation. Video from last night shows the crane used by Norfolk Southern engulfed in flames. The fire lit up the night sky above the Edgewood Avenue overpass, but the concern is actually on the ground, specifically damage to the bridge that crosses over the rail yard for trains to pass underneath. Some drivers knew they were going to have to take the long way to work this morning because of this.
It's crazy to me. Because I'm like, wow. Yeah, I'm at a loss of words on it. Because I'm like, I go that way to go to work. So now I got to find a whole other way to go to work.
As News4Jax investigated this, we learned this is not the first fire Norfolk Southern has dealt with. It sent us this statement today saying last night's fire is still under investigation, making the release of any additional details premature at this point. However, Norfolk Southern's top focus is safety. And yes, we will investigate the cause of last night's fire independently of the state. Now we're following breaking news in New Orleans, where a tornado has touched down in the city's suburbs tonight. We have a live picture right now. It spawned from a line of severe weather that started in Texas and Oklahoma and then moved east, causing extensive damage. You're looking at a reporter there getting ready to give a report. It's not clear at this point if anyone was injured. We will continue to follow this developing story, though.
It was a pretty intense day on Capitol Hill as senators questioned the Supreme Court nominee.
And she's still being grilled right now. Still ahead to hear how Ketanji Brown Jackson reacted to questions ranging from critical race theory to packing the court.
And just ahead, you'll hear from parents as officials discuss new school plans in St. Johns County, all due to the tremendous growth in the area.
I believe in the love of country, the flag, honoring our military, and back in the blue. Whatever national news you watch, local news, it is not. Whatever you are, right-wing, liberal, it doesn't matter. Knowing what's happening in your neighborhoods, tracking bad storms right to my street, keeping you safe from the next thing, and getting answers to questions that I care about. That's local news. That's why I watch News4Jax. They are who they've always been.
Parents in St. Johns County were given the opportunity to discuss the school district's plans for a new school this evening. They had a virtual meeting that also addressed rezoning existing attendance boundaries. It comes as St. Johns County is experiencing exponential growth with a 7% enrollment growth over just the past year.
Exact Track 4D detects dangerous weather days ahead of time, so you can make the right plans for your family.
Well, all good things have to come to an end. We had a gorgeous day today.
Yeah, it was really nice, but as you've been reporting, some changes could be on the way.
Yeah, it's easy to see. You know, on Exact Track 4D, if you have the Weather Authority app on your phone, you could load it up right now. Just open it up, takes seconds. And then just scroll it down just a bit. There's a radar there, and you can zoom out on the radar, and you'll basically see what I'm showing you right here. That is a line of thunderstorms that has been very, very powerful. You heard moments ago about a tornado that went near or right through the southern parts of New Orleans. We'll have a full update on that coming up here briefly at the bottom of the hour, maybe coming up here at 11. Point of it is these little purple boxes represent where the tornadoes have been taking place over the last few hours. The good news is I actually think these storms that we're seeing right now are going to fade overnight tonight. Boy, it could be quite interesting to see how that works out, because not only do the rains return on Thursday, cold, cooler north and northwesterly winds will bring those temperatures down. 83, then 67, then 73. The roller coaster up, down, and then flattening out as we look at our temperatures. And also note the morning lows this weekend, chilly, upper 40s and mid 50s. That's pretty cold. We'll have more on the rain and the tornadoes coming up here shortly.
Thank you, John. Well, before getting back to the Hall of Fame preparations, Tony Boselli was giving back to the community today.
Coming up, what the Jaguars legend is saying about his big summer leading up to his enshrinement. That's later in sports.
And up next, a consumer alert for some blood pressure medications. Stay tuned to see if you need to search through your medicine cabinet.
Weather is brought to you by Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family.
Looks like sun, looks like fun, but before you even know, here comes rain. Where'd it come from? Why do I even live here? Don't let weather ruin plans, there's only one way to prepare. Always watching, always tracking, download our free app today.
A consumer alert, Pfizer is recalling its blood pressure medication. The recall affects Accuredic and 2 authorized generic brands. There were too many chemicals found in the products, and while common in water and certain foods, too much exposure of these types of chemicals could increase the risk of cancer. No illnesses due to the medication have been reported, but Pfizer is recalling it just in case.
We continue to follow breaking news. A tornado has touched down in New Orleans, and it has left a trail of damage there.
Yeah, we have live images from the scene. You can hear a reporter there talking over these images. John is looking at the line of storms responsible for the destruction. Coming up after the break.
watching Channel 4, the local station. Live with Mary Bear, Kent Justice. The Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Gahn. Sports analysis with Cole Pepper. And breaking news with Sky 4. The 10 o'clock news continues.
And breaking right now at 10:30, a look at destruction in New Orleans, where a tornado touched down tonight. There's widespread damage. You can see it, but no reports of any injuries at this point. There's also damage in Texas, where a confirmed EF3 tornado hit with winds of 150 miles per hour. Look at that destruction, and we now know one person is dead. It was Texas that got the worst of the storm yesterday, and now Louisiana and Mississippi are seeing destruction tonight.
More than 30 million people are under a severe storm threat with more tornadoes possible. John Gahn is joining us now. So, John, where is this storm system right now, and who's set to get hit the hardest late tonight and into the morning?
Well, again, as you just heard the quote, hate things at night when it comes to severe thunderstorms and tornadoes, because it's so hard to see them. When you're up and about during the daytime hours, as you saw from those eyewitnesses, bless you, you can see those tornadoes coming and you have a chance. But at night, it's a whole different story. Tonight, you can see how these storms have been racing through parts of the south. These little icons I'm showing you here, these are the tornado reports extending out there north of Fort Worth, Dallas area, then extending just between Houston and Dallas, and then across much of Mississippi this afternoon. And again, as you can see, the track is basically towards the east. These are beginning to weaken. That's the good news. The downside is we still got overnight to deal with it. So, Tarek, who's next in terms of the worst of it? Well, it looks like southern parts of Alabama and out there towards parts of Georgia. This is going to be for tomorrow, that yellow area they're representing, where we're going to see those heavy thunderstorms mainly into the Carolinas. For us, we're kind of in the green. Here's another way of looking at it. This is the hour-by-hour forecast, and you can see the reds here start to fade by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and that's about the time we'll see the leading edge of some scattered showers here, but then they all fade away, literally fade away on top of us. But it's not over yet. As we go through Thursday, the rains return to Jacksonville, and as we've seen all too often this month, looks like we're in for another good soaker. I'll have more of that coming up here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, John. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson will be in the hot seat another day starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow after today's long hours of intense questioning from U.S. senators during her Supreme Court confirmation hearing, which ended just minutes ago. Joy's here now. And Joy, there were some heated exchanges today.
Yes. So Mary, Judge Jackson, she got a grilling on topics that were expected from those Senate Judiciary Committee members not thrilled about her nomination. Tomorrow, each of the 22 members of the Senate Judiciary Committee get 20 minutes to again question Judge Jackson, with proceedings wrapping up on Thursday. Senate Democrats hope to have her nomination cleared in the full Senate by the Easter recess. Mary?
Thank you, Joy. You'll be able to watch Judge Jackson's entire hearing process live on News4Jax.com and News4Jax Plus. Tomorrow's hearings will begin at 9 a.m.
The Ukrainian city of Mariupol has been reduced to ashes. That's according to the President Vladimir Zelensky. And now forces in the nation's capital of Kyiv are trying to push back against Russian troops. New video coming into our newsroom this evening showing the complete destruction of Mariupol, which was once home to over 450,000 people. It is a major port city in the country, but the Pentagon had a briefing today about the Russian army still struggling to gain traction in some of the cities in Ukraine.
We know that they have been frustrated, John. They are running out of fuel. They're running out of food. They are not integrating their operations in a joint manner the way you would think a modern military would. Their commanders aren't necessarily talking to one another and coordinating air to ground. We've seen tension between the air forces and the ground forces about how well or how poorly they're supporting one another.
President Biden is heading to Europe tomorrow to meet with allies and partners in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and to consult on next steps.
Disney employees today protested a Florida bill and the company's response to it. They staged walkouts at various locations. It has to do with Florida's Parental Rights in Education bill. Florida's Senate passed it earlier this month, and Governor DeSantis is expected to sign it. Disney's CEO was criticized for not speaking out sooner. Disney says it stands in solidarity and support with their LGBTQ+ cast and crew. Actress Amanda Bynes' conservatorship ended today. The measure was taken back in 2013 after Bynes allegedly started a small fire at home and had been struggling with her mental health. Bynes filed to end the conservatorship last month, and her parents are supportive of the move. The 35-year-old is now retired from acting, but had her own show when she was a teenager during the early 2000s.
In more local news, many of Jacksonville's biggest strip clubs have a new deal with the city of Jacksonville after a settlement in federal court. Taxpayer funds are paying the businesses and dancers $60,000, and police have new restrictions on how they can investigate these venues. News4Jax reporter Vic Michelucci has a closer look.
What are the Georgia Bulldogs saying about their chances to challenge for another national title?
Coming up, we hear from the head coach and the quarterback on the Dogs' chances to repeat. That is after the break.
First, though, here's Joy with a look at what's coming up on News4Jax at 11. Joy?
Mary, ahead all new at 11, a development in the case against a teacher's assistant at a local high school accused of having a sexual relationship with a student. The updated charges she's now facing. And a chilling first look inside Bob Saget's hotel room. What the medical examiner says these pictures might explain about what happened to him when we see you at 11.
Exact Track 4D detects dangerous weather days ahead of time, so you can make the right plans for your family.
And right now, the radar is just lit up over New Orleans. We've been showing you a live picture, too, of the reporters there who are talking about the destruction there tonight.
And a lot of that weather's headed our way?
To a degree, no and yes. And I put the no out there because it's so severe there. We are not going to see that kind of weather. But yes, in a sense, we're going to get the rains from this. So kind of a no and yes, if you will. All right, look at Exact Track 40 again. And to the bottom left-hand corner, you can see where those the red area there representing the heavier thunderstorms cutting across the Gulf of Mexico. That flashing purple area represents, once again, a tornado warning that's taking place right now, and I can zoom into that in just a second. But also notice that we're looking a little more fractured in terms of the representation of all these showers and storms. It was a solid, ugly line earlier today, but now in the evening hours, we're seeing this thing kind of thin out a little bit. And in fact, as I look at this one tornado warning, it's really interesting. There's a thunderstorm there, but it's not very impressive looking. But rotation seems to have been the theme to a lot of the storms that they've been tracking across Texas, Louisiana. Again, occasionally tornadoes have touched down EF3 into parts of Texas yesterday. That was a terrible storm. But these out here into the Gulf of Mexico producing hail. And that's interesting as well, because that would be a part of the threat to maybe the panhandle like Tallahassee coming up here tomorrow afternoon. Again, more hail being reported out of those individual cells that are out there into the Gulf of Mexico. As I look back at the bigger picture, you can also see that the rains extend all the way out there towards Montgomery. Birmingham, Alabama, seeing a severe thunderstorm right now, where hail is the big story. So we have that. By the way, we can go out back to Louisiana here and take a peek at what's been going on just to illustrate the damage that has taken place. WDSU is in New Orleans, and again, they're just trying to get a feel for all the damage that has taken place there. Power is out, of course, and it's a dark night, and they're just trying to pick up the pieces. Wait till morning, and we'll probably get the drones up and get a very good look at the path that this thing had taken as it went cutting across. We're talking about a tornado there, folks, taking a loss. It's terrible. All right, let's get back to Jacksonville here. Tonight, we see ourselves dealing with some clouds, even out there towards Gainesville, and you're going to wake up to clouds tomorrow. The sunglass forecast, not looking so good. It's about a cloudy day as we'll go through it.
We are now 4.5 months away from Enshrinement Day for Tony Boselli in the Hall of Fame.
Culpepper, we heard from Tony today about how things have changed for him since he was announced as a Hall of Fame selection.
Yeah, you know, Boselli hosted a shopping spree for some local middle schoolers today. We'll have more on that coming up later in the show. But he admitted that a lot of the kids don't really know that he's soon to be in the Hall of Fame. Just that he used to play for the Jaguars and he's big. We asked him about what it's been like the past month and a half since he was announced, whether he appreciated the times he was passed over more now that he is getting in finally to the Hall. You can see the full schedule for the event on the story on news4jax.com. Tarek and Mary.
Thanks, Cole. Just minutes away, we're taking you inside the shopping spree Cole Pepper told you about with Hall of Famer Tony Boselli. Look at the smiles it brought to some future athletes.
Weather is brought to you by Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family.
When I was growing up, my family taught me the value of $1. Now, as a consumer investigator for the local station, I understand how important this is to your family. How to protect yourself from scams and ripoffs. How crucial every coupon and discount can be. How a new change to the law can change your life. So whether I'm behind the wheel myself or in front of the webcam. I'm working hard every day to get you the money you need and deserve.
Channel 4, the local station.
Now a story that's positively Jax, coming from the aisles of a popular sporting goods store.
And from the heart of a local Pro Football Hall of Famer, Tony Boselli, giving away sports gear just a month and a half after being named to the Hall's class of 2022.
They're super excited to meet an NFL Hall of Famer.
The athletic director at Matthew Gilbert Middle School also excited to see her students get a chance to hang with Jaguars legend and Pro Football Hall of Famer Tony Boselli.
I spent $20, I have $80 left.
So these are the ones?
Boselli and his foundation took the 28 local student athletes, soccer players from Matthew Gilbert Middle, on a whirlwind shopping spree at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
My friend got these glasses and I have these shoes.
Each one receiving a $100 Academy gift card, plus a new pair of cleats and other items from the Jaguars Foundation.
For me personally, coaches invested in me young, so when the opportunity arose for me to do the same, had to step up to the plate.
This team's coach considering his work with the team, along with a couple of other coaches, an investment in everyone's future.
I took this opportunity and ran with it. Looking forward to continue as well. Looking forward to building something here at Matthew Gilbert.
And Boselli, the Jaguars and Academy Sports helping make that happen.
I'm glad that they did this for us, and this is very nice and appreciative for what they did.
I'm glad we got this opportunity to do this. It's very fun.
Smiles all around, even behind the masks. And these young athletes no doubt scoring some positive memories for life, especially when they realize this shopping spree came courtesy of a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
I'm not an expert shopper, and I'm especially not an expert in soccer. So if they wanted some football ideas, I might be able to help them. It's fun to see them enjoy it and have fun and pick out stuff that can help them be good at what they're passionate about.
And they are passionate about it. In addition to the gift cards and free cleats for the student athletes, Matthew Gilbert Middle School was also surprised with practice equipment donated to help support the school's soccer program. It's going well.
Yes, it is.
Stay with us. There's more to come.
The news continues with Joy for News 4 Jax at 11. That's right after the break.